And to be honest with you, if you listen to the World Economic Forum conversation, if only half of what Donald Trump is projecting to come to pass, if it actually comes to pass at only 50% of what he's forecasting, you do not want to be on the sidelines with this U.S. economy that's coming over the next couple of years. He made mention, and you might have heard him, and again, rhetoric, right? It's his his way of speaking. The Dow, I believe he mentioned, or it might have just been the market in general, will double under his presidency. Now, again, if half of that happens, we're in good shape.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Well, unbelievable times. Man, I am planning a trip to Greenland. Might have to stay on a military base, but that's okay, because it'll be the good old USA, as one person called it, Greentanimo. And I think that's where we're headed from. Dale Smothers with us. Dale, it's all noise and distractions. I heard somebody say, and I couldn't agree with it more, I think it was Scott Jennings, the guy from CNN, who's the only sane person there. He said, with people on the left, they take Trump's words literally, but they don't take him seriously. People on the right take his, don't take him literally, but do take him seriously. And, markets, they could just get shaken so easily, especially when they're getting up near new all-time highs.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's an interesting way to think through that. I think it's become Donald Trump's MO, right? Kerry, this is put out the extreme and work towards a middle. And clearly, the 10% tariff followed by a 25% tariff, or, you know what, we might just come take Greenland. That type of rhetoric was the extreme. It is going to result in something that benefits America, no doubt. I think in his plan, he's laid out that this is a big piece of the Golden Dome, extending that Golden Dome over the Arctic. And I mean, it all makes sense. And it makes sense not only for Donald Trump, but it's made sense for 5 presidents for very similar reasons.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that godforsaken piece of ice.
Piece of ice, yeah. And there are certainly very intelligent people who are working on this. I'm confident, and there are reasons for it. I don't think we've got to get a needle and thread together and start putting the 51st state on our flag anytime soon. But I do think that this is going to benefit America in the long run. And clearly, the market has overreacted to the rhetoric. And now that a deal is being discussed, has come back with a little bit of a rebound here onto the 2026 news cycle, which I think is more AI than anything.
Yeah. Oh, sure. They stopped reporting a long time ago. At least the artificial intelligence is definitely brighter than the average reporter that's around these days,
Outsource AI. Outsource the reporter. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it works,
Sure.
Places like financial reporting, like on Yahoo and Google and, Bloomberg, that's been AI generated for years.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. And you can kind of see it if you start looking across multiple platforms, very similar language across those platforms.
Definitely. So, what do you think? We going for records now on the S&P?
I do. I really do. I think the S&P 500, even the NASDAQ on the back of the AI boom is likely to see all-time highs very soon. And to be honest with you, if you listen to the World Economic Forum conversation, if only half of what Donald Trump is projecting to come to pass, if it actually comes to pass at only 50% of what he's forecasting, you do not want to be on the sidelines with this U.S. economy that's coming over the next couple of years. He made mention, and you might have heard him, and again, rhetoric, right? It's his way of speaking. The Dow, I believe he mentioned, or it might have just been the market in general, will double under his presidency. Now, again, if half of that happens, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is driven by the growth that we have. He made mention that one of his big filters for the Fed is that if we see record-breaking GDP, we don't then all of a sudden decide that we're going to raise interest rates, which has kind of been the MO for several Fed chairs, that raising interest rates in preparation for inflation that's not here. He thinks we're going to grow ourselves out of a national debt, this $8 trillion national debt and counting.
Oh, from his mouth.
And obviously that's been his goal from day one. And we've talked about this multiple times, Gary.
Hey, so what about the fact, though, that the precious metals are hitting record highs? Even today, silver hits a new high, gold pretty close to a new high. I haven't looked at gold yet today, but silver is trading near $96. We're looking at $100 silver here, Dale.
Yeah, for years, precious metals were always the flight to safety. And clearly there is some of that happening now. We saw with Greenland's news come out on Monday, Tuesday, silver was higher, gold was higher, copper's higher. These precious metals and commodities are certainly still a flight to safety. But one unique thing about silver is that it has a conductivity of no other type of metal. It's the highest sought after for AI in terms of conductivity. Electronics need silver. And AI is on the backs currently of electronics and these processors that have to connect. And, I'm getting over my skis here. I'm not a computer engineer, but I do know that silver's demand is driven by much more than just a flight to safety. Gold going higher, silver going higher. I think that also has a lot to do with global insecurity. Clearly, is the dollar going to be the reserve currency of the world? I don't think Bitcoin quite yet has managed to be a true currency for, let's say, preserving capital. It is a very good transfer of capital vehicle. Bitcoin,
medium of exchange.
Blockchain, sure, absolutely. A media of exchange. I love that idea. But honestly, gold, silver going higher for us is more of an opportunity for those who maybe look for stability but still want a growth story. At least in the short term, I think both of those continue higher. And we want to be a part of that as well here at RDS Wealth.
Hey, couldn't have said it better myself here, Dale. $100 silver right around the corner. And yes, it's a confidence play in the dollar, just like gold is, but it's also a commodity shortage play. Because whether you believe that silver has been kept artificially lowered by certain players in the market or not, the fact is that for much of the past several decades, the cost of production exceeded the cost of or the amount that you could earn per ounce. Mm-hmm. And therefore, it became strictly a byproduct. A lot of the pure silver mines long since shut down. I was at one in Nevada. So you got three things spurring it on. You have increased demand, you have shortages, and you have monetary confidence.
Which causes more demand.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Exactly. But real demand for real products. I think, honestly, my own opinion, Dale, and you're the guest, you're the expert, I think we will reach an emergency with silver. And basically, I don't know that we'll call it silver confiscation, but the government will have to go door to door to get people's collectible silver. And I think it's going to $multi-hundred per ounce.
Yeah. The price point that you put there, I definitely agree with. You'd hate to imagine confiscation, but definitely these silver traders that have collectible silver, no longer are you, quote unquote, trading the coin as much as you're trading the actual commodity itself, which hasn't been the case, just like you mentioned. I mean, silver has had an unbelievable run up, and we've been able to take part of that for a lot of our clients. Gold is gold. The true reserve capital, if you will. It's got an intrinsic value, I think it's clearly behind the U.S. dollar, the second largest reserve capital. There's a lot of things shaken out too. Greenland, going all the way back here full circle, Greenland is probably a bigger piece of the story than I realize. Certainly, you may be well read on it, but Russia's dominance and China's partnership with Russia should scare us in the form of, does the U.S. dollar maintain its reserve capital of the world? Because that is the hinge-pin that all of this rests on. Getting back to a gold standard, I don't know how in the world you'd ever do it, but it wouldn't probably be a bad thing for Americans. Yeah, that it's a challenging proposition there, and it unfortunately, what is it? History repeats itself, certainly. And if you don't, and it rhymes. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Mark,
I think we've got give credit, right? We've got this dichotomy, and it's communism, socialism, and some may say that's even invaded our shores here in New York City. This communism, socialism approach to global security in their mind versus capitalism and free markets, and they're starting to merge. Certainly, even our current administration, some things somewhat socialistic in some sense.
Sure.
20 years ago, it would have been a socialistic playbook that we're playing here in some areas. But I think the real challenge is, where does Europe fall? Do they want to get in bed with that communistic agenda, or do they stay true to the American West and capitalism, which clearly comes with democracy and republic type of government? It's playing out right now, real time. And,
totally.
Our
could
kids,
not agree with you more.
Believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of things going on now, and where it's going to be, where it's going to end up, I don't know the answer to it, but certainly the trends are inescapable here. And, when the dollar goes, it's not going to be because people want an alternative. It's going to be because they have to have an alternative, because the dollar becomes too unreliable.
Sure. And, to back up here, I'm certainly not a doomsday prepper, but you've got to see that as a potential. It's a possibility. But what we've seen in this current administration to strengthen America, to erase globalism, because that's where we were headed, to erase this one world currency, one world government, one world. It's all been in preparation really since the late 90s. You've got this president now that says, scratch all that. We want to be self-sufficient. We could theoretically build a wall around America and be okay. And that scares the rest of the world to death, because if we truly start paying down our national debt, and this is just a speculation here, if we can actually start paying down our national debt and we can become, essentially we're currently hopefully living in the next American economic revolution. And if that becomes the reality, I think that the global dominance of the dollar continues for decades to come. So that is the hope, is that we're at this crossroads, and that the dollar becomes relevant again because of an American first agenda and bringing home things that we depend on solely. That would be our objective, I think, as a country now. And unfortunately, it's not been that for the last 20 years. Besides
Very
one little 4-year blip there, and I won't tell you who the president was during that time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of blips over the years, that's for sure. So, Dale, when we do our post-2026 wrap-up next January in 2027, what do you think we'll be seeing?
I think you're going to see the AI story for markets specifically. I think you're going to see the AI story be a little bit more clear on what can and can't become profitable for companies. This is going to create a winner and loser column. Companies that have built out and expanded data centers that maybe are struggling to become profitable, they're going to be the pets.com of the 1990s, right? You're going to have some significant winners, though. And I think for the clients that we work with, Kerry, we're not as much looking for the next, let's say Microsoft, if we go back to the 90s, because the current Microsoft is going to benefit from the next Microsoft as well. And there's going to be room for multiple winners in the AI race. AI will change the world. It's already changed the world. It's here to stay. Quantum computing is the next story. Wrapping up 2026, if we go into this futuristic time machine and go into, say, we're sitting in January 27, I think that we've started to see a move towards quantum computing, maybe a little more than we have in the past. We've had some pretty incredible IPOs. Let's speculate a little bit with SpaceX. That would be nice if that happened in 2026. Maybe some nice IPOs with big, large companies that we can now invest in, which gives more opportunity. I think gold and silver continues higher. I think we're into now the third year of a Trump agenda, which has put America first. Productivity is at all-time highs. That is a little bit of a challenge to the labor market, though, Kerry. I mean, the reality is the more productive a worker becomes, the less workers you need. So what does that mean for labor? That's the big piece. We've seen lower interest rates, most likely, in 2026 because we've got a Fed chair that is determined to get to what he deems to be neutral. Speculation here, I think that's about 100 points lower than where we are today, and the market reacts favorably to that. So a lot of potential and optimism, but be diligent as an investor. We have to be disciplined and take advantage of opportunities when they present, but don't go all in with money you need tomorrow.
Couldn't agree with you more. Very wise words. Dale, how do we find you? How do we connect with you on the web?
So rdswealth.com is the name of our firm. You can go to RDS Wealth is our website. rdswealth.com is our website. Forgive me, Kerry. Our firm name, RD Smothers Wealth Management's our firm name, rdswealth.com. Go there, set up a time to chat with us. If you have any questions, you can set up a time that's convenient for you. You can find our podcast, The Retirement Matters Show, by going to a podcast streaming service of your choice. We're big fans of your show, Kerry, and just appreciate you having us on, getting to chat with your listeners as well.
My pleasure. Great to have you back on. Happy New Year, healthy, prosperous to you. If you got a question for Dale, myself, shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. Dale, we'll talk to you again real soon. Be well.
Talk real soon. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.